To pause amidst a continual barrage of fresh horrors is a radical act. We can stop the constant activity to honor the dead, the lost, the starving, the discarded, the deported, the endings, to defy the systems reliant on this violence and fear and greed. Let us pause and be confused, despairing, rageful, grieving, and perhaps still hopeful together. As we spend these 15 minutes together, please feel free to make yourself comfortable, to be present to yourself. This is a time to just receive. Each day, I offer a theme, a question, a poem, a reading, an exercise, and we follow the alphabet. Here are some of the questions we've been asking. My pace, my tone is intentionally slow and deliberate because we want this time to be an oasis in the grind, in the anxiety of our workplaces. We want to offer a practice that is grounding, that is regulating to your nervous system, and that is feasible in our busy professional lives. We do this so that you have a chance to reconnect with yourself amidst everything. We do this so that you may be connected with those around you, with the places and spaces that we inhabit throughout the day. And we do this because this is where possibility lives. This practice is offered at no cost, and I'll share some links later if you want to support us in any way that you can. Our word today is xenial. You know, it's hard to find an X word for sure, but I actually love this word. It is really, for me, about how we treat guests, how we treat the strangers. It's welcoming people with cordiality, generosity, being hospitable, being friendly. And I love the term radical hospitality. I don't know that we know yet how to do it well sometimes. But for me, this is like seeing every person as an individual, every person who's worthy of respect, honoring them and whatever their needs or desires or interests are. And so I wanted to let someone else define what this is. And I have a little TEDx that will do that hopefully for us. Okay. This is Grace Rodriguez.
And that one greeting, welcome home, helped me realize one of our greatest superpowers as people. It's a superpower that each one of us has and that every one of you can tap into at any moment. It's the power of radical hospitality. Now, radical means affecting something fundamentally. It means diving deeper and disrupting something at its core. Hospitality derives from the Latin word hospes, which means both host and guest, and it demonstrates the intrinsic relationship between the two. So, radical hospitality means putting extraordinary emphasis and effort into making sure someone feels fundamentally honored and genuinely welcome. It means creating a safe space for people and providing for their needs. It means showing up as your best self to be a gracious host. But you already know this, right? It's something we've been doing for centuries. You think of the story of the Good Samaritan or the cultural tradition of inviting travelers into your house for a meal. Carlos told me that you have a saying here in the Dominican Republic, el agua no se niega. Water is not denied, meaning if someone shows up and they're thirsty, it's your responsibility to give them water. And he said there are two cups in his house that were reserved just for that purpose. But now think, when's the last time someone showed up at your door and knocked and asked for anything? When's the last time you opened that door and offered something? This basic generosity is a part of our humanity that we're sadly losing to fear. Robert Putnam is a Harvard political scientist who researches the growing isolation of people.
Sadly losing to fear. I think that's true. There are stories in my lineage of my great-grandmother during the Depression and how she didn't deny people who knocked at her door. And so I'm really drawing from that in these times. And I wanted to also share a way that someone else just describing how he extends radical hospitality, not just to the stranger who might be asking, but even for everyone, just being able to bear witness to people's experience in our everyday lives feels really important right now. And I want to share this as well.
In this society that is really riddled with all different types of fears, overcoming the fear of strangers is central to my walk as a Christian. And one way that I do that is by extending hospitality and in some very simple yet profound ways. Oftentimes, when I'm in the grocery store, I'll hang up the telephone and look the woman behind the register or the man behind the register in the eye and say, "How you doing, Shanika?" And Shanika will look me in the eye and say, "You're the first person that's asked me how I was doing, called me by name. And I've been here for 6 hours." I mean, that has happened numerous times over the past several years. And I see it as extending, one, radical hospitality. You know, these small connections make a large difference.
These small connections make a big difference. Absolutely. What if we had workplaces built on radical hospitality, where it's our job to honor every person, including ourselves, including our coworker that annoys us, including our boss who continues to do this thing that just feels like we're not making progress on anything that's important? How do we overcome that fear of the other? How do we bear witness to each other's experiences and keep moving forward? So, how do you practice radical hospitality today in your everyday life? Not in a special way, in a witnessing way, in a presencing way with those around you. As I mentioned, this is offered at no cost, and this daily practice is an experiment. We're just trying to see what will work to help people get through these difficult times. And I'm going to put things in the chat, but here's the links as well. If you would like to support us, please reach out anytime. We're here for you. And as always, we end with the Terma Collective. May our eyes remain open, even in the face of tragedy. May we not become disheartened. May we find in the disillusion of our apathy and denial and fear a cup of the broken heart. May we discover the gift of the fire burning in the inner chamber of our being, burning great and bright enough to transform any poison. May we offer the power of our sorrow, of our radical welcome to the service of something greater than ourselves. May our guilt not rise up to form yet another defensive wall. May the suffering purify and not paralyze us. May we endure. May sorrow bond us and not separate us. May we realize the greatness of our sorrow and not run from its touch or its flame. May clarity be our ally and wisdom our support. May our wrath be cleansing, cutting through the confusion of denial and greed. May we not be afraid to see or speak our truth. May the bleakness of the wasteland be dispelled. May the soul's journey be revealed and the true hunger fed. May we be forgiven for what we have forgotten and blessed with remembrance of who we really are. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day ahead. And please extend that radical hospitality to whoever needs it around you, which is everyone. Take good care.